Hi, Stamping Friends. It's Sherry Parker coming to you live on Sunday, June 7th. Thank you for joining me on a Sunday evening. If you're watching live or if you're watching on replay, that's awesome too. Coming to you on not a regular night, as I will be traveling this week and will not be able to make it on Wednesday. But I did want to show a really cute card with you this week, so that's why I'm jumping on here a little bit early. So just a couple quick things. We, Stampin' Up! Announced a new last chance list. So if you want to go to my website at sherrythomas.stampinup.net, a lot of great deals on some retiring products. So check that out if you can. And then secondly, in July, I'm planning on having a Margs and Cards class. So more information will be coming on that soon, but I did want to put that out there. I would love to have anyone come make some cards, see you and everything. So stay tuned for more details on that. All right, I'm going to turn my camera over and we'll get started on another black and white card. It's part 2 and it's more of the Timeless Classic edition. So let me turn my camera over. Hi, Felicia. Thanks for joining, especially on a Sunday. All right, so tonight we're going to be showing you a few things from the new catalog. The Words and Wishes bundle is something new that I just recently purchased, and it's a really nice bundle. We were also going to be using that Artisan Sketched Garden Designer Series paper, what we used last week. Just another use of the black and white to show you some really nice ideas for that. So that is the bundle, and here it is up close. We aren't actually doing any stamping tonight, but we will be using the die cut. So a really nice, versatile set and some great greetings with the stamps. And then as last week, we are using this beautiful black and white paper. Last week, if you remember, we made a set of note cards where we basically just cut out one of these bouquets, vases, and then colored it in, and we made a nice little set of note cards. So same paper pack, but we're going to be using different pieces. So if you remember, there's just some really pretty designs with that paper stack. So tonight we're going to be making just a very simple fun fold best wishes card. It is June, which I feel like there's so many weddings, also graduations. This could be something very versatile you could use for an anniversary, really a lot of different occasions. In my opinion, black and white is timeless, and so you can't really go wrong with the black and white card. So just to show you up close, so this is a fun fold, and I call this kind of like a card in a card, and a very nice classic design. So that is the card we're gonna make, and just to kind of give you an idea of the supplies you'll need, the card base itself is 8.5 by 4 1/4. Oh, you get an extra little dimensional there, surprise. And I've scored it at the 5.5. I would say for this particular fun fold, if you do have a bone folder or some kind of a scoring tool that will help you press it down to keep it down, would be helpful. I've cut a Designer Series paper piece to 5 1/4 by 4, and that's going to simply just tuck inside there. So I will actually just go ahead and adhere that. And then that go on the inside. And then for the inner card, this piece here measures 8.5 by 3, and I've scored it at the 4 1/4 mark there, okay? And it's gonna be like a reverse card, like that. Hi, Marion. And for this guy, we are going to have 2 pieces. I've cut 2 pieces of white cardstock here, and they measure 4 by 2 3/4. And so one will go on the top here, and then I've also cut one to go on the inside, because as you know, when you're wanting to write something on the inside, it's nice to have white or a lighter color. So we've got one on the outside, and we'll put one on the inside. And I'm just using my Stamp and Seal adhesive, but of course, use your favorite adhesive, glue, double-sided tape, whatever you like to use. Okay, so you can see how we've kind of pieced our 2 cards together. I will get another piece of Designer Series paper, and it's actually the same dimensions as the white, so that is 4 by 2 3/4, and that will go on the outer flap here. So I will adhere that to this outer flap just like that. So you can see how easily this comes together. So you're basically making two little cards and piecing them together. But before I do that, I decided it might be nice to layer it onto silver. You could also use gold or really any color that you wanted, but kind of sticking with this timeless classic theme, I thought silver would be really nice. And again, you know, for an anniversary or wedding, I think that touch of metallic really adds a lot. So this piece of silver is 4.5 by 3.5. And so it layers nicely with that little inner card. And before I put it all together, I think probably what I would do is go ahead and cut out my words. As I mentioned, I'm not using any stamping for this card, but the way this die cut set works, you can see kind of like, they almost look like little balloon looking shapes, and then they'll nest with the actual scripted words. So I cut these out in black, the little bubbly, and then in white, I use the die cuts and I cut out the letters. So then we'll just simply adhere those together and get our best wishes. And one fun technique to actually adhere these really thin pieces together is to use your multi-purpose glue, also known as green glue. Put a little blob on your silicone mat. And then this is a silicone baster, so you can get these at Amazon or wherever. You can get a pack of them, share it with a friend. And you're simply just going to thin out your glue, and you can adhere it to the back of your letter, like so. Makes it really easy to glue pieces together without having big blobs of glue run over. Have you ever done that? For me, that seems to be how I roll. You can also use our adhesive backed paper and run it through the die cut machine too. So that is certainly an option as well. This is a very economical, easy thing to do, and the results are very good. You don't get all those blobs of glue, so it's really nice. So that shows you how simple it is to put together. I went ahead and I already glued the wishes. One thing I would point out when you're doing anything with a dot of an eye, when you run it through your die cut machine, just keep tabs of that eye, because the little dot, they're easy to lose. And so you'll just want to like pay extra attention when you're running it through. Believe me, I'm talking from experience. All right, so what we'll do next is we will just affix our best wishes. And I've got some Stampin' Dimensionals here that I thought I would use and make it pop up nicely. And probably put one on each side. And I'm gonna stagger these a little bit. So I'll put the best kind of in the upper left, and then the wishes in the lower right. Like that. And if you wanted, of course, I always like a little bling. These are some of our new metallic gems. They come in gold, silver, and kind of a copper or bronze color. So that's a nice little touch, and I'm gonna add a few of those as well. Give it an extra little pizzazz because, you know, why not? And there's small, and then there's medium size, so you can kind of pick, you know, which ones you want. And then really the last touch, this is something I was able to pre-order. It's a real pretty metallic black. And I thought this would be a really pretty addition to this card. And I'm just going to simply tie a piece on the spine here and try to get a good knot. I always keep it on the spool so I don't waste ribbon, but you know, you could pre-cut it if it might make it easier, since obviously I'm having trouble here. Where it is, there we go, okay. I was thumbing something through that wasn't the right thing. There we go. All right. Trim off our edges. And there's our little mini card. And then we'll simply just tuck that into the big card, like so. So all you have to do for that is just put your adhesive down. And then I would open up the card like that, center it the way you want, and you open that and close that. See how simple that is? And what a nice timeless card that could be used for a lot of different occasions. And there was no stamping, as you saw. You let your designer series paper do the work for you, as well as these beautiful word die cuts. So I hope you like that. And be sure to comment on or share, because anyone who comments on or shares each week, you're automatically entered in to win the projects that I make every week. So that being said, last week I did make one of the note cards using this same beautiful Artisan Sketch Garden Designer Series paper, and I paired it with different colors. The one I showed on the Facebook Live was using the crisp cantaloupe, but I showed you different variations with different colors. So we're going to draw the winner of this card from last week, and everyone who commented on and shared, your name is in my little glass here. So I'm going to draw a name, and that is Ronnie Petru. So you are the winner of this card from last week. So again, I appreciate all of you who watch each week, or whether you watch on replay or on my YouTube channel. I really love that fact that we're growing and more people are watching. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. I'm going to be out the next week or two, but I will be back soon. So stay tuned for more Facebook Lives coming. Take care. Good night.